When life serves us a large platter of pain, we in our minds immediately want to leave that pain, causing temporary relief like drinking and smoking to be commonly the thing we end up doing, or some other vice that immediately provides relief. The thing people get mixed up is that life isn't about going through pain and then drowning it away at the end of the day to get by. It's life is supposed to be about facing your problems directly, thinking how you can escape them. If all you did was use temporary relief, you'll never get anywhere in life, and you'll always just end up being someone who never lived up to their full potential and just kept themselves stuck in like a dead end job, for example. But we all deserve more, and we all have the potential to do what I'm talking about, to leave the pain in the past, not do temporary reliefs, and just enjoy healing instead of anything else. You see, healing faces the problem up front. Escaping it via temporary relief is only pushing the problem down the road while it leaves skid marks as we push it down the road. What I mean by that is, let's be honest with ourselves. You temporary relief feels real good, but that doesn't mean it's pushing the problems completely away, even in the moment. You still got the 10 or 20% just chilling in the back of your brain, giving you, whether it be anxiety or depression or whatever it be negatively. That's what I mean by it leaves marks on the road. You're not just pushing it down the road for later. You're essentially just giving yourself the worst possible solution so you can kind of deal with the problem. If you want to heal from your pain and trauma in life, unfortunately, what you have to do is face it head on. No matter how much pain it causes, no matter how much you despise the idea, that's the only way you're going to get around to becoming your best you, a you that doesn't have pain. What do I mean by facing your problems directly? I mean throwing the temporary relief in the trash, if that's how you're using it. If you're using temporary relief as a form of a coping mechanism to avoid problems, throw that shit in the trash as fast as you can and replace it with thoughts. Not thoughts, thinking. Thinking about what are your problems, number one. Number two, how can I deal with the problems in a way that I can follow them without burning out or feeling devastatingly bored by it. While temporary relief causes most of our pain to be flushed away, there's a couple of issues with that. Not only is it taking your money away, it's taking your health away, it's taking your one life away that you only have. You only get one of these, and you don't have it for very long. So I would suggest just take the healing route just take the healing route. I'm telling you that there's only two barriers between you and a perfect you, and that's that you agree. Number one, you're gonna want to agree with me, that you that it's your time to strive towards your best you. And if when you decide it's your time, really go for it. Because the thing is a lot of times we do want our goals and we do eventually want to reach them, but it's that goddamn energy that you have to give it and commitment. We're really scared of commitments, a lot of us, because what if it doesn't work out the way we want it? What if it ends up failing? What if it takes 50 years to get to a point where we want? But these things, at the end of the day, they're just stupid thoughts trying to keep your body's making up to keep you from doing what it sees as pain. But in reality, changing yourself for the good isn't, yeah, it's going to involve pain, of course, but the right kind. And the thing about escaping with temporary relief is it's just going to keep us stuck. And every time we're doing it, we're becoming more and more stuck because we're reinforcing that habit where every time you do something, that loop, that habit becomes stronger, good or bad. You may say to yourself, I don't need to heal from all my problems to grow. Well, okay, here's the thing. You might tell yourself, I don't need to face my problems to grow. Let me just go and work on myself. I'll deal with these other issues later. But here's the thing is, While you see it as potentially weightless and you're confident in yourself, there's a couple things you're going to want to ask. Is that confidence actually something you can back up on? Likely no, if you haven't been able to in the past. The problem with keeping small problems in your life when you push towards really crazy positive ones is those problems with like temporary relief. It does so much harm. It's just such a barricade. Escaping is temporary relief too, by the way. That's not something that you want as much as you want to tell yourself. And remember, guys, everyone, healing isn't linear. It's kind of like a 2-3 steps forward and 1 step back a lot sometimes, or a lot of the time. But the thing about that is the more steps you put into your goals, the easier it gets. And I don't mean like it gets slightly easier, like 15%. The thing about practicing your thoughts is it compounds the amount of energy that it takes to do your stuff. So like for me, at this point, I've been doing consistent daily uploads for nearly 2 months now. And I've had, past like 1 or 2, 3 weeks, my problems with my energy to go up and go just make the content, spend that couple hours doing it. There's no like motivation that I have to rely on there. There's no extreme desire to not do it anymore. It's just kind of like breathing at this point. I just kind of get up and do it without any regrets or pains. It feels very freeing when you've already committed to your goals so much. That's partially because it just becomes so much easier. The hardest part of becoming the best you is always going to be at the beginning, man. And what's even harder than the beginning process is starting the process. Whew, that's the hardest part. Like I said, nobody wants to go and work on their ambitions. That's just, we all have these huge ass goals. You want them, you got to put in the effort. But I promise you that effort is going to become 1/10 of the energy quicker than you think. Escaping your problems is driven out of fear, but chasing your problems is driven out of acceptance. Some of us have issues in our lives so massive that and so unbearable that it causes us immense pain to even think about the thought. Like I said, it's going to be really painful. It might be extremely painful at first. It was for me at first to, both obviously my goal is to, make this a lifelong channel. Starting that goal and committing to it, that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, is face my feelings and realize that I need to start committing to this. But honestly, the truly hardest thing I've ever done in my life is facing my biggest problem, and that was my depression and anxiety, mental issues. And holy crap, was it painful. I recently went through some trauma in my life that I thought would break me, and that was insanely painful to bring up time and time again. But here's the thing is, the more you face your problems, here's the other thing, is the more you face your problems, the less painful it becomes. And again, less energy it takes to deal with it. And before you know it, the grasp that it has on your thoughts loosens, and you get to think once again without the pain that's involved with that thought. Like, for example, losing a loved one. I've lost a loved one recently, and I've managed to work on my thoughts enough so I don't have to hold any level of pain with those thoughts. I can just accept them and move on and get the best out of that situation, if that makes any sense. So guys, let's keep it simple. Let's not escape our problems anymore. Let's all work on ourselves and start healing from them. How about we all, take this video as a hint that we do need to start. For me, it wasn't when I realized I needed to start, it wasn't some big push. Let this little push be your driver, your motivator to start. Besides that, guys, it's hard. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be so unbelievably worth it. And it's going to be so worth it to work on your problems instead of escaping them in the end, that I literally can't even tell you how good it feels, because it's a feeling that you have to experience for yourself to understand how good it feels. And I tell you what, like, it feels hundreds of times better and more relieving than getting drunk or something stupid like that. But yeah, I mean, it's all going to work out in the end, you guys. It will all work out. I promise. I promise. There's hope for you, and you're deserving of the hope and love. I appreciate you guys watching as always. Like and subscribe. Let me know what your favorite way to escape is and how you can work on yourself to escape it. You guys have a great rest of your day or evening, and you guys have a good one. See you guys in tomorrow's video.